Bowman Live. Welcome to the program on tonight. Let's get right down to it. You know how we do it over here. We keep it all black all the time right here. I don't have a problem saying it. Love my black people. I love my black kind. All right now, according to CNN, Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson tells CBS she's concerned about the Trump immunity ruling. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson told CBS News that she is concerned about the court's divisive decision to grant sweeping immunity to former President Donald Trump because it treats one person differently than others in the criminal justice system. Exactly. I've been telling you all about a two-tier judicial system, a justice system. People don't believe it until they're caught up in it. And when you get caught up in it, you get up into the tentacles of this corrupt judicial system, and you'll find out exactly what happens. Let me tell you a story. When I was falsely sent to prison, during my time there was a prominent judge whose husband committed a horrible crime. A horrible crime. She's a high-ranking judge here in the city of Philadelphia. They put her husband in protective custody. They kept him there. Nobody could come out when he came out. Do you know that he was given preferential treatment and favorable treatment above every other inmate that was in that prison where I was? And the terrible, heinous, seditious crimes that man committed, they dropped him and let him go. So don't tell me that there's not a two-tier judicial system here in America. I've seen it at work. That's the reason why right now I am a criminal justice major, a pre-law student, studying night and day, learning about this system so I can advocate on behalf of those who are falsely accused, those who are true victims of crime, so I can advocate and mediate and fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. That's why I speak the way I speak. I hate injustice. And if it took for me to be falsely accused and sent to prison to find my true calling, then to God be the glory. But I'll tell you one thing. Once I pass the bar, and God will allow me to, I am not going to take no crap off of corrupt judges, corrupt policemen, or nobody else. And people who falsely accuse people and set them up and send them to prison, I will eviscerate them under cross-examination. Because there are too many black men and white men and brown men and Hispanic men and Latino men and women who are languishing in prisons for crimes they didn't commit simply because somebody said. Somebody can just say that you did something and they will be believed above the person that's innocent. Some of y'all out there tonight know exactly what I'm talking about. Just because somebody said somebody did something, just because someone accuses someone of doing something, that does not make it so. There's circumstantial evidence and then there's non-circumstantial evidence. And too many people, like the Central Park Five, those 5 young men languished in prison for years until the truth finally came out. And it was Donald Trump who advocated for the death penalty with his full-page ads. This dude has been malicious and intentionally systematically destroying people's lives for decades. and decades and decades. But there comes a time when everybody must pay the price for the misdeeds. And let me tell those of you all out there tonight, because see, some of you, you are hiding behind this so-called Victims Act. For those of you that falsely set people up and you know you lied, like a woman to get mad with her boyfriend, she knows he's out on parole. If he doesn't do everything she says, and if she even suspects that there's a hint of cheating, she'll call his parole officer and get him locked up. And for those of you who send people to prison for things they did not do, your time is coming. You are going to pay for the lives that you have destroyed. You are going to know what vindication by the hand of the Almighty is. So you keep on lying. Keep setting people up. Keep sending innocent men and women to prison thinking it's okay. But when your turn comes, you're not going to be believed because you're a liar. And you know you are. And I'll tell you, like I told them, and one day I'm going to go into my entire case. I'm going to bring some documents, some powerful documents that I have to substantiate and prove what I say is true. I told the cop who arrested me, you can take that gun, you can kill me right now if you want to, but you'll never get a confession out of me. Never. And the corrupt cop, the lying cop who set me up, they gave him a promotion and made him chief of police. But he never lived to be sworn in. Think about that one. I was the last person that he framed. Now let's get down to this article. Justice Jackson tells CBS she's concerned about Trump immunity ruling. According to CNN, quote, I was concerned about a system that appeared to provide immunity for one individual under one set of circumstances when we have a criminal justice system that had ordinarily treated everyone the same, close quote. Jackson told CBS News Sunday morning in an interview, part of which will air Tuesday. Jackson's remarks, which come as she promotes a new memoir to be released next week, were in response to a question about the court's decision on July 1 to grant broad immunity to the former president. A 6-3 majority of the court ruled that Trump may claim immunity from criminal prosecution for some of his official actions. Jackson, who was nominated by President Joe Biden, dissented from that decision. What do you think happened? He put them on the bench for that purpose. Those were his hand-picked justices, bought and paid for. Alito, Kavanaugh, and all the rest of them, especially Clarence Thomas. They deliberately gave him broad immunity from prosecution. They knew exactly what they were doing. And they'd do it again. Do you remember the election between Al Gore and George Bush? Al Gore won the popular vote. It was the Supreme Court who stepped in and made Bush the president of the United States. Gore said, oh, to hell with it, I'm done. I'm gone. Jesse Jackson was the only one fighting. Gore said, give it up, Jesse. It's over. The reverberations of the ruling are still being felt in the criminal cases pending against Trump. The Supreme Court's decision has delayed special counsel Jack Smith's criminal case against the GOP presidential nominee for attempting to overturn the 2020 election. Trump, the Supreme Court ruled, could still be prosecuted for unofficial actions. A district court in Washington, D.C. will hold a hearing on next steps in that case next week. The court is also going to face a flurry of expected election litigation this fall. Asked by CBS News' Nora O'Donnell whether she is ready, Jackson said she is as prepared as anyone can be. I think there are legal issues that arise out of the political process, Jackson said, according to an excerpt of the interview provided by CBS. And so the Supreme Court has to be prepared to respond if that should be necessary. Jackson's memoir, Lovely One, is set to be released on September 3rd. So let me respond to this viewer here. I have a right to speak any way I choose to speak. Y'all used to these mealy-mouthed black men pretending to be something that they're not. You used to black men kowtowing and talking like women. So when you hear a real black man speak in an authoritative tone, what's up with you angry white people out there? What's up with the angry white men pretending that they're being discriminated against by black people? White folk have never been discriminated against in this country, and you know it. So when black men begin to rise up in mass and speak with authority, y'all don't like it. And frankly, quote unquote, in the words of Clark Gable in Gone with the Wind, quote, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Close quote. Never surrender. Never quit.